We used to get some pretty niche TIE fighter sets back before there was the content overload known as Disney Plus. And why would LEGO produce such wacky looking TIE fighters? Well, because the Empire produced some pretty wacky looking TIE fighters. There are so many of them. Some of them we are bound to get at some point or another, and others we will never see in LEGO form. But I thought that it would be interesting to take a look at every single TIE fighter that we've never seen in an official LEGO set and rank them based on how likely they are to ever show up. Each TIE fighter will be ranked on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being this will never ever happen ever, and 10 being this is absolutely going to happen, like absolutely. Well, I'm excited to get this started. Make sure to comment below when you see a TIE variant that you really want in LEGO form. And stick around to the end if you want to see the wackiest TIE variants. The first one up on the list is the Outland TIE, or TIE Outlander. I put this at a number 9. I think that this is very prevalent to current Star Wars media with the popularity of The Mandalorian. You see this in seasons 1 and 2. And I can definitely see it showing up again in Season 3 or in the Ahsoka show. So I think that this one is fairly likely to come about. The building techniques on the wings might be a little bit difficult, but I think that this one is almost a lock on something that we will get in the future. Next up here at an 8 out of 10 on the likelihood scale is the TIE Reaper. This thing made its debut in Rogue One, and man does it look awesome. I would seriously be shocked if we never saw this in LEGO form at some point, at least officially, because there are some pretty awesome mocks of this out there. But yeah, TIE Reaper definitely needs to happen, and I think it's fairly likely, at least compared to some of the other TIEs on this list. Ranking as a 7 out of 10 on the likelihood scale is the TIE Shuttle. Now, this has the distinction of being the only TIE variant to appear in the original trilogy that we have never gotten. Granted, this is where you see it in the original trilogy, so I mean it makes sense, but I can definitely see Disney pulling on this to bring it into some new material and potentially get it at a future date, so I think that this is fairly likely. Equally as likely as the TIE Shuttle is the TIE Boarding Shuttle, which is the exact same as the TIE Shuttle in every way, except the wings are curved inwards. This is another TIE variant that we see in Rogue One. Those are not bombers there, those are boarding shuttles. However, I do think that if we get a TIE boarding shuttle, we won't get a TIE shuttle, and vice versa. It's probably one or the other, and since they're pretty similar, I just slapped them on as equally likely. Coming in at a number 6 is the Mining Guild TIE Fighter. We first saw this guy in Star Wars Rebels, and if Disney ever does anything with the Mining Guild again, which I imagine they will, this is probably going to end up being a set of some sort. So yeah, Mining Guild TIE, pretty likely. Another variant from Rebels that I think is decently likely is the TIE Defender Elite. Now yes, we have gotten a TIE Defender before, but this is the TIE Defender Elite. You can tell by its red striping. This was a project headed by Thrawn, and with Thrawn playing a pivotal role in coming Star Wars media, I can totally see him bringing in some TIE Defender Elites. They might not have the red striping, but they'll be elites because Thrawn would not settle for normal TIE Defenders. Something else that could be coming is the TIE Brute. I put this at a 5 because I could really see it going either way. It was in Solo, that is the only time we've seen it, which understandably Disney might not want to make stuff off of Solo. However, I can see it appearing in some other media because it is a pretty cool looking TIE variant. And with Brick Vault's mock, I think that it's been popularized a little bit more, so I could see LEGO potentially making one of these at some point. Now getting into some more obscure variants, we have the Royal Guard's TIE Interceptor. Now, Royal Guards do not appear consistently in new Star Wars media, but they still do appear on occasion, and I could see a Royal Guard TIE Fighter potentially coming up in a new Disney Plus show, and LEGO wanting to make a variant off of this, although it is quite a bit less likely. Also at number 5 is the TIE Punisher. Now, if Disney ever wanted to bring in some heavy firepower TIEs, this would be the boy. I could definitely see this coming in new media and a Lego set being made off of it. I would really like that, or if somebody made an alternate build of the current TIE Bomber, that would also be really cool. But yeah, this is a super cool variant. Continuing down the list, we have the TIE Phantom. This was a TIE that has a Millennium Falcon cockpit and uses cloaking devices in its stealth attacks. I could for sure see this being brought back into canon if Disney wants some stealth TIE fighters to work with, or they could just go ahead and design their own. Next up, we have the Heavy TIE Bomber. Now, I put this one below the TIE Punisher because I feel like if Disney wanted to upgrade the TIE Bombers that they're using in their media, they would go for the big boy before stopping off at this more medium-sized guy. Dropping down a tier is the TIE Aggressor. Now this is pretty similar to Vader's TIE, except the wing shape is a little different and it's got a turret on the back. Also a number 3 is the TIE Sentinel, which is like almost exactly the same as the TIE Aggressor, except a little bit different shaped wings, and also it's got like a swivel turret at the front. Then the TIE Hunter is something that elite stormtroopers started flying after the Battle of Yavin to match the X-Wings. It functions like an X-Wing, those wings actually fold, and I mean, I could see this maybe showing up in media someday, but like, not really, you know? Next up at a level 2 of likelihood is the Scimitar Assault Bomber, which technically it isn't a TIE variant. It did not have twin ion engines, but it's close enough that I can put it in here, and it's probably never going to happen. Next up, the TIE Fighter boat is never going to happen. Now, this one actually does not have an official design anywhere, but like, I don't think that Disney is ever going to do underwater TIE Fighter stuff. Like, they just make their own crap up, and yeah, the TIE Fighter boat doesn't even have an official design, so definitely not. And the TIE Bizarro was a experimental TIE that is also never gonna come in Lego. Like, it's kind of a meme, so maybe they might do it like someday, but yeah, no, this thing isn't coming. And one of the only TIE fighters with a hyperdrive, the TIE Scout. No, this isn't happening. Like, I would be shocked if Disney brought this back into canon at all. And then here, also at a level 2, you got the TIE Vanguard. This is like a reconnaissance TIE fighter type of thing. No, this is not happening ever. Also never happening, the TIE Lander. Disney would just use the TIE Reaper for this purpose, and the TIE Reaper looks way cooler. Also, the TIE Ground Targeting. Like, it just targets things on the ground and then relays that target info to another TIE fighter, which then relays that target info to a TIE bomber. Like, yeah, no, this isn't coming. The Neutralizer class bomber, which is reminiscent of a TIE Predator, is also never gonna happen. Prototype TIE fighter, no, Lego would never make this because this is like really obscure. Also very obscure is the TIE Oppressor. That's never gonna happen. And the TIE Avenger is also very obscure. This is like the early version of the TIE Interceptor, and that's never gonna come. The TIE Mauler is about as likely to come in Lego form as a bag of rocks is to get sentience. The Lancet Aerial Artillery looks like the cursed child of a Sentinel-class shuttle and a TIE fighter. The TIE Big Gun just has a couple of big guns slapped on the wings. Very obscure, not gonna happen. The TIE Warhead is just an interceptor with like missiles on its wings. The TIE Bomb, get this, no pilot, literally just a rocket in the shape of a TIE fighter meant to blow stuff up. This would actually be really cool to get, but we're never gonna get it. The TIE Booster is just a TIE fighter with a big engine slapped on the back. Yeah, this is never gonna come. And it would just be hilarious if Lego made a TIE Raptor. I would buy like 50 because it's just a funny looking ship. The TIE Predator, also about as likely to come as a sack of rocks gaining sentience. The Scuttler looks a lot like that one YouTube short I posted like a year ago. The TIE Fire Control, no, not ever gonna happen. And neither is the TIE Light Duty, which is basically a normal TIE fighter except with less armor. Then here we have another type of reconnaissance TIE fighter, like very redundant to the TIE Vanguard, and some random unidentified TIE variant that also is never ever going to show up in Lego form. Well, that was a pretty hefty list, so be sure to let me know in the comments which TIE variant you would like to see come to Lego the most. And why don't you hit that like button to let me know if you liked this video or not. And if you did like this video, which I'm guessing you did if you made it all the way to the end, then you should probably check out another video on the end screen now and maybe even subscribe. But either way, thanks for watching.